Imagine a world where the question, "Are we alone?" is finally answered, not by a distant signal from the stars, but by the discovery of an alien civilization thriving on a planet light years away. This isn't just science fiction. It's a possibility that scientists, philosophers, and sociologists are preparing for right now. The search for extraterrestrial life isn't only about biology or technology. It's about understanding how humanity would react to such a revelation. Would we unite as a species, or would fear and division take over? What would it mean for our religions, our cultures, and our sense of identity? The science of alien life forces us to confront profound questions about our place in the universe, challenging us to think beyond the stars and deep into the essence of what it means to be human. The answers may not just change our understanding of the cosmos, they could redefine who we are. The whisper from the stars. The night was unusually clear, the kind of night where the stars seemed close enough to touch. Dr. Elena Marquez adjusted the focus on the telescope at the Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico, her fingers trembling slightly. For years, she had dedicated her life to the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, sifting through endless static and cosmic noise. Tonight, however, felt different. The data streaming in from the newly upgraded array of radio telescopes had shown a peculiar pattern, a repeating signal, faint but unmistakable, originating from a star system 1,200 light-years away. Elena's heart raced as she double-checked the readings. The signal wasn't random, it was structured, almost mathematical in its precision. She called her team, and within hours, the observatory was buzzing with activity. The signal was real, and it was coming from Proxima Centauri b, a planet in the habitable zone of its star. The world held its breath as the news broke. Humanity might not be alone. The science of discovery. The discovery of the signal, dubbed Whisper 1, ignited a global frenzy. Scientists from every discipline scrambled to analyze its content. The signal's structure suggested it was a form of communication, though its complexity far exceeded anything humans had ever devised. Linguists, mathematicians, and computer scientists worked around the clock, attempting to decode its meaning. Meanwhile, astronomers pointed every available telescope toward Proxima Centauri, hoping to learn more about the planet and its potential inhabitants. Proxima Centauri had long been a candidate for harboring life. Orbiting within the Goldilocks zone, where temperatures could allow liquid water to exist, it was a rocky planet with a mass similar to Earth's. Initial observations hinted at an atmosphere, though its composition remained a mystery. The Whisper 1 signal added weight to the hypothesis that the planet was not only habitable but inhabited. As the scientific community rallied, the social sciences began to play a crucial role. Sociologists and psychologists studied public reactions, which ranged from unbridled excitement to deep-seated fear. Religious leaders grappled with the theological implications, while governments debated how to respond. The discovery of alien life wasn't just a scientific milestone, it was a societal earthquake. The philosophical quandary. In the midst of the chaos, Dr. Raj Patel, a philosopher at the University of Oxford, found himself at the center of a profound debate. What does this mean for humanity's place in the universe? He asked during a televised panel discussion. For centuries, we've seen ourselves as unique, the pinnacle of creation. But if another intelligent species exists, it forces us to confront our insignificance, or perhaps our interconnectedness. Raj's words resonated deeply. The discovery of alien life challenged long-held assumptions about existence, consciousness, and the nature of intelligence. Were humans special, or were they just one of many intelligent species scattered across the cosmos? The Whisper 1 signal didn't just carry a message. It carried a mirror, reflecting humanity's deepest questions about itself. Ethicists also joined the conversation. If we establish contact, what are our responsibilities? Asked Dr. Mei Ling, a bioethicist from Beijing. Do we have the right to interfere with another civilization? Or should we adopt a policy of non-interference, as proposed by the Prime Directive in Star Trek *? The debate was far from academic. It had real-world implications. A single misstep could lead to conflict, misunderstanding, or even the destruction of an entire civilization. The societal impact. As the weeks turned into months, the Whisper 1 signal began to reshape human society. In some corners of the world, the discovery sparked unity. Scientists from rival nations collaborated like never before, sharing data and resources in a collective effort to decode the signal. the United Nations established a new agency, the Office of Extraterrestrial Affairs, to coordinate humanity's response. But not everyone welcomed the news. Conspiracy theories proliferated, with some claiming the signal was a hoax orchestrated by governments to control the population. Others feared the aliens were a threat, pointing to humanity's own history of colonization and exploitation. Protests erupted in major cities, with signs reading, "We are not ready," and "Leave the stars alone." Religious communities faced their own challenges. Some saw the discovery as proof of a divine plan, while others struggled to reconcile it with their beliefs. "The Bible speaks of God creating the heavens and the earth," said Pastor John Matthews during a sermon in Texas. "But it doesn't say whether he created life elsewhere. This is a test of our faith, and we must rise to the occasion." The decoding breakthrough. After months of painstaking work, the team at Arecibo made a breakthrough. The Whisper 1 signal wasn't just a message. It was a primer, a kind of interstellar Rosetta Stone designed to teach its recipients a new language. The aliens, whoever they were, had anticipated the possibility of contact and had crafted the signal to bridge the gap between civilizations. The decoded message contained mathematical concepts, images of their planet, and even a greeting. "We are here. We are peaceful. We wish to learn." The simplicity of the message belied its profundity. For the first time in history, humanity had received a deliberate communication from another intelligent species. The news was met with a mix of awe and trepidation. Governments began drafting protocols for a potential reply, while scientists debated what to say. "This is a moment of unparalleled significance," said Dr. Elena Marquez during a press conference. "We must approach it with humility, curiosity, and respect." The road ahead. As humanity prepared to respond, the discovery of the Whisper 1 signal continued to ripple through every aspect of society. Schools updated their curricula to include astrobiology and xenolinguistics. Artists and writers imagined what alien civilizations might look like, while engineers dreamed of building ships capable of interstellar travel. The discovery had become a catalyst for innovation, creativity, and introspection. But the road ahead was uncertain. Would humanity rise to the occasion, embracing the opportunity to learn from another civilization? Or would fear and division prevail, turning the stars into a new frontier for conflict? The answer lay not in the heavens, but in the hearts and minds of people on Earth. As Dr. Raj Patel often said, the search for alien life is not just about finding others, it's about understanding ourselves. In the end, the greatest discovery may not be that we are not alone, but that we are capable of becoming more than we ever imagined. Epilogue, a new dawn. Years later, as humanity sent its first reply to Proxima Centauri b, the world watched in collective anticipation. The message, crafted by a global team of scientists, philosophers, and artists, was simple yet profound. "We hear you. We are here. Let us learn together." The stars, once distant and silent, now seemed alive with possibility. The Whisper 1 signal had changed everything, not by revealing the secrets of the universe, but by reminding humanity of its shared destiny. In the search for alien life, we have found something even more extraordinary: ourselves. And so, under the watchful gaze of countless stars, humanity took its first step into a new era, an era of curiosity, connection, and hope. The journey had only just begun. The first contact. The reply to the Whisper 1 signal, aptly named Echo 1, was transmitted from the Arecibo Observatory with a sense of solemnity and hope. The world watched as the message, encoded in mathematics, images, and sound, traveled at the speed of light toward Proxima Centauri b. It would take 4 years to reach its destination, and another 4 years for any potential response to return. Humanity settled into an uneasy wait, knowing that the next chapter of this cosmic story would unfold not in their lifetimes, but for future generations. Yet the act of sending Echo 1 had already changed the world. The global collaboration required to craft the message had fostered unprecedented unity. Nations that had once been at odds now shared resources and knowledge, bound by the common goal of reaching out to the stars. The discovery of the Whisper 1 signal had become a turning point in human history, a moment that redefined what it meant to be part of a global community. The wait and the wonder. In the years that followed, humanity turned its gaze inward as much as outward. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence, SETI, programs expanded with new telescopes and listening arrays built across the globe. The Breakthrough Listen initiative, funded by billionaire Yuri Milner, became a cornerstone of the effort, scanning millions of stars for signs of life. Meanwhile, space agencies like NASA, ESA, and CNSA accelerated their plans for interstellar exploration. Concepts like light sails and fusion-powered probes, once relegated to science fiction, were now serious areas of research. But the wait was not without its challenges. As the initial excitement of the Whisper-1 discovery faded, questions began to arise. What if the aliens were not as peaceful as their message suggested? What if humanity's reply provoked a response that we were unprepared for? These fears were amplified by a vocal minority who saw the Whisper-1 signal as a harbinger of doom. Conspiracy theories flourished, and some even called for an end to all attempts at contact. Dr. Elena Marquez, now a leading figure in the global scientific community, addressed these concerns in a series of public lectures. Fear is natural, she said, but it should not dictate our actions. The Whisper-1 signal was an invitation, not a threat. We must approach this moment with courage and curiosity, not paranoia. The First Contact Protocol. To address the ethical and practical challenges of potential contact, the United Nations established the First Contact Protocol, FCP. This comprehensive framework outlined how humanity would respond to further communications, or even a visit from an extraterrestrial civilization. The FCP emphasized transparency, cooperation, and respect for the autonomy of both humanity and any alien species. The protocol also included provisions for cultural exchange. Linguists and anthropologists worked to develop a universal language of first contact, combining mathematics, visual symbols, and sound to bridge the gap between species. Artists and musicians contributed to the effort, creating works that represented the diversity and creativity of human culture. The hope was that if contact were made, humanity could present itself not just as a scientific curiosity, but as a vibrant and multifaceted civilization. The arrival. 8 years after the transmission of Echo 1, the world received its answer. A new signal, dubbed Whisper 2, was detected by the Square Kilometre Array in South Africa. This time, the signal was more complex, containing not just a message but a set of instructions. The aliens, it seemed, had sent a blueprint for a device, a kind of interstellar communication relay that could facilitate faster and more detailed exchanges. The scientific community was stunned. The technology described in the blueprint was far beyond anything humanity had ever conceived. It utilized principles of quantum entanglement and subspace communication, concepts that had been theorized but never realized. The device, if built, would allow near instantaneous communication across the vast distances of space. The construction of the relay became humanity's greatest collective endeavor. Nations pooled their resources, and the project was completed in record time. When the relay was activated, the world held its breath. For the first time, humanity was about to engage in a real-time conversation with an alien civilization. The conversation. The first exchange was brief but profound. The aliens, who referred to themselves as the Zin, expressed gratitude for humanity's reply and shared their own history. They revealed that they had been observing Earth for centuries, studying its cultures and ecosystems from afar. The Whisper-1 signal had been their way of reaching out, a test to see if humanity was ready for contact. Over the following months, the Zin and humanity engaged in a dialogue that spanned science, philosophy, and art. The Zin shared their knowledge of the universe, revealing the existence of a vast network of civilizations that had been communicating and collaborating for millennia. Humanity, they said, was now part of this cosmic community. But the Zin also issued a warning. The universe, they explained, was not without its dangers. There were species that sought to dominate and destroy, and others that had succumbed to their own hubris. The Zin urged humanity to approach its newfound place in the cosmos with humility and wisdom. The new era. The contact with the Zin marked the beginning of a new era for humanity. The knowledge and technology they shared revolutionized every aspect of life on Earth. Diseases were eradicated, energy became limitless, and humanity's understanding of the universe expanded exponentially. But the greatest change was in how humanity saw itself. No longer confined to the narrow perspective of a single planet, humanity began to think of itself as part of something larger, a cosmic tapestry of life and intelligence. The discovery of the Zin and the broader galactic community had not diminished humanity's significance, it had elevated it. As Dr. Raj Patel reflected in his final book, The Cosmic Mirror, the search for alien life was never just about finding others. It was about finding ourselves. In the vastness of the universe, we discovered not only that we are not alone, but that we are capable of greatness. The stars are no longer distant and silent. They are alive with possibility, and so are we. Epilogue, a message to the future. Years later, as humanity prepared to send its first interstellar mission to Proxima Centauri b, a new message was transmitted to the Zin. It was a simple yet profound statement, one that encapsulated the journey humanity had undertaken. Thank you, we are ready. And under the watchful gaze of countless stars, humanity took its next step into the cosmos, forever changed by the whisper from the stars. The journey had only just begun. Conclusion: a new dawn for humanity. The discovery of the Whisper 1 signal and the subsequent contact with the Zin marked the dawn of a new era for humanity. What began as a faint echo from the stars evolved into a profound dialogue that reshaped our understanding of the universe and our place within it. The Zin's wisdom and technology propel humanity forward, erasing boundaries and uniting the world in a shared vision of exploration and cooperation. But beyond the scientific advancements and interstellar connections, the greatest revelation was the transformation within humanity itself. The search for alien life had always been a mirror, reflecting our deepest fears, hopes, and questions. In reaching out to the stars, we discovered not only that we are not alone, but that we are capable of unity, curiosity, and growth. As humanity stands on the brink of its interstellar future, one truth remains clear: the journey is just beginning. The stars, once distant and silent, now beckon with endless possibilities. And with each step into the cosmos, we carry with us the lessons of humility, courage, and wonder that the whisper from the stars has taught us. The universe is vast, but so too is the potential of humanity. Together, we reach for the stars, not as strangers, but as explorers of a shared destiny.